Hello and welcome to another guide for Eden. Today we'll try to go a little bit through the rewards, but just really briefly, and then going to the buildings we have on Eden. You can see on this beautiful map, and yeah, these buildings are actually key for your rewards. So, what rewards we get for Eden? So there are two kinds of rewards. First, your personal ones. This is just about the personal points you achieve of doing special tasks. It doesn't matter how many points somebody else does on these kind of tasks. They are personal for you, and if you reach a number of points at the end of the season, you will get the maximum rewards. We'll cover this in a different video later because this is not what it's about. The second rewards are your alliance rewards, and these are the, let's say, more important rewards, and you can earn these through occupation points. So how do we get occupation points? Occupation points are granted whenever we gonna occupy a building. Pretty simple so far. So let's go to this kind of sheet over here. So to get top rewards, like the highest rewards you can get for Eden, your alliance needs to have 2000 points. Okay. So as you can see on the right side over here, on this map, there are buildings worth 7,860 points. So in theory, 3 alliances can achieve, or better to say 3 guilds, because, guilds are different than alliances on Eden, can achieve maximum rewards. And this is really cool. So that means actually 600 players on the map. If politics on the maps are good, then you can actually achieve the maximum rewards for 3 alliances. And this also answers the next question: what about the temple in the middle? The big building, like everybody says, like, do we rush it or not, or whatever. So, of course, it has the most point value on the map for each building, right? If we go to this sheet over here, it looks a little big, a little messy, but let's break it down, all right? So you have 4 types of buildings. We have gates, cities, capitals, and the temple. And over here, you can see the level, and you can see the occupation. And the occupation is what your alliance gets if you occupy this kind of building, right? So normal gate, doesn't matter what level it is, it's just 5 occupation. Cities, it increases, it's from 15 to 30, capitals 70 to 100, and then you have the temple in the middle that it's worth 600 occupation. So of course it's nice to have it because it gives just one building, it gives you a huge amount of occupation, but it's not necessary. As you saw, you just need 2000 points. You can achieve it on many different ways. And if we go back to this picture over here, you can see the amount of structures it has, right? So it has 13 big cities, for example, right? Or 8 small capitals or level 5 capitals and 4 level 6 capitals. So where are these located? You can see it over here, right? You have these capitals over here, you have the capitals in the inside, and then you have the big temple in the middle. The other part about rushing to the middle is that on last season, buildings had a little cooldown. So, for example, if you would try to go from this season over here to the season in the center, not the big center, but like, let's say over here, here's the other kind of border. So to get over here, it was a cooldown for like 14 days, and to actually be able to attack the temple, it was a cooldown for like 4 weeks. You couldn't attack it for the first 4 weeks and could just go then on it and attack it, right? So we have to keep this in mind, like when we planning like what buildings we're going to take. If we have a big populated map, if we don't have a big populated map, we might just go, for all these buildings around here and get like a few on these inner circles over here, and then that's more than enough, right? We will have easy 2000 occupation. Okay. The next for the buildings, and this is another really important part. Buildings, depending on the level, have different durability. You can see it over here on these over this head over here, it says 200,000 durability for level 1 gate, and then it goes all the way up to 5 million for the temple. And now there's over here, you can see damage, loyalty, and damage durability. What is this about? So we go to this picture over here, and you can see the attack of a gate. I talked about this in the other video before, but I think it's really important to understand what this means. Okay, so the first 20% of this building is a green bar, right? And this is actually the only first 20% have this high amount of loyalty that has to be done. So if we go back over here, you can see like for level 1 gate, it says 2700 loyalty you need to have. But if you kill the first 40k durability, or take down the first durability, 40k durability on this gate, the loyalty decreases to 1800, right? And this is very important because what happens now is that means for the first, let's say you don't have any banners, and let's explain this a little better. Over here you can see the average damage on demolition you have, right? So it says like, okay, you have a really weak demolition legion, and it's just about 450 demolition per attack. You shouldn't have it. You know, if you're using footman, it's way above 500. You know, it's even better. But it's just to calculate on these amount of demolition to get an overview, because you can't calculate it for every kind of combination of legions, right? So keep in mind that this over here is for 450 demolition, and this down here is for 500 demolition, right? Just to keep this in mind. Okay, so let's say we just have the first gate, and we don't have any banners, and we just have 450 demolition on normal attacks. Then you would need 3 attackers with maximum energy. That means all 4 legions have 100 energy. This is important, right? Like, as I said before, on Eden, you don't need to use your stamina that you have for normal activities like on your home map or whatever you're doing. On Eden, you have special energy to use your troops, right? So you can save the amount of energy you need, and if you attack, you always should have 100 energy for all of your 4 legions, right? And if you have these full energy, you just need 3 attackers and 11 support. So what are attackers? Attackers are these ones with 2700 loyalty. Like for max loyalty you need for this building to take down the first 20%, and after that you just need 11 more people, you know, with 1800 loyalty to take down the rest 160,000 durability. This would be enough to take down a level 1 gate, so you actually just need 14 players. If these would be banners, you know, like attackers with banners and support with banners, that doesn't mean like everybody has to be a bannerman. No, it just means that somebody places the banner on the gate, and then you have the time to attack these buildings or a city or capital or whatever. Just place it on the building, and then you use way less energy to attack this kind of building. And you can see already here it reduces to only 6 players, right? So if you have 6 strong players with a banner, you can easily take down level 1 gate. No problem. You just need 2 with the loyalty of 2700 and 4 with loyalty of 1800, right? But now here comes the key part. This is for level 1 gates. You know, gates just give you 5 occupation, and actually gates are just there to prevent people from rushing to different areas of the map. So you can see all these hills around here, right? So you can see the hill over here, and then there's the gate. So you have no chance to come from here to this area if you don't have this gate occupied. See? You need to tile all the way around here, and then you can start to attack this. Like on this attack, there's no banner placed. It's a level 3 checkpoint. I don't know why it's called checkpoint here. On different maps it was called gates, but let's just stick it with gates, right? And other than that, if you don't occupy this gate, you have no chance to go to a different area. So these gates are key to prevent enemy players to tile into your territory, but they're also key to move on to a different territory yourself, right? Just to keep this in mind. Okay, where we go over here. Okay. So let's go back and say like, okay, you want to go and take your first city. City, if you wouldn't have Bannerman just for the one city, you would need over 100 players already inside of your guild. Right? And at the beginning, let's say everybody of our alliances will be in the same guild. We are just like 100 people, right? And the first amount of people you can have in this guild before you can donate resources to the guild to expand it to a 200 guild, you won't have this amount. So key part is to have bannermen, and the key part is to have at least 5 people with these banners to place, and to place them at the correct spot. Like you saw in the other video, it has to be the center part of the building where the banner has to land. Even though the building looks, for example, like a 3x3 building, that's not enough if it hits tile around it, right? The building is always one tile. Doesn't matter how big it looks, it's just one tile, and this tile has to be covered with the banner, right? And this will reduce the amount of people you need extremely. You know, just check over here, from 105 to 41 people. That's huge, right? And you just need 9 people with banners, right? This is awesome, you know, like 9 people with the amount of loyalty you have, and then the rest can just, you know, shut down the rest. That's pretty awesome. And if we keep going on, I mean, just check the capitals, right? If you would say, or yeah, just check the first capital you could get. If you wouldn't have the banners, your guild couldn't even take it. You would need to have another guild take the first amount down, and then your guild could take next, right? So it's really key to have these banners in our guild and have at least at least 5 banners in our guilds to take these territories, to take these capital cities, these buildings, and to get the occupation value, because this is what it's about. Get 2000 occupation, and you will have maximum rewards. Like I said before, it doesn't matter when you take it, but when season ends on the last day, you have to have 2000 occupation. Doesn't matter if you have the first, let's say, 40 days, 4000 occupation. The last day, you drop down 2900. Bad luck, you know, you won't get maximum rewards. Okay, so this is another point. By preparing your territories, right? Is it worth to go for the temple and say, okay, it can be attacked from many sides, right? Or do we just secure an area around here and say, okay, this area maybe has 2300 occupation, you know, and we just secure these gates, okay? Let's say there's a gate, and then you can have these gates secured. It's a really easy way to block people. There are many videos on how to make a castle wall with your shields. Will be covered in different video too, like on all these tactics you can use. And this has to be considered, you know, if you think about what buildings we go for and what buildings maybe not the wisest choice to go for. But at the beginning, it will be you will start tile from the first level 1 to whatever tile is around. There are many mixed tiles. You know, you don't have to go these really far distances to go to high level tiles. We'll get these pretty easy. And another thing on this picture I want you to mention, which is really great, and thanks over here, you know, Don Pablon from State 96, shout out to him, he made this really awesome graphic. Over here you can see the effective tiling from your collision base camp, right? So you have 4, and depending on what level of tile you want to take, it says your loyalty and what level of building you have to have. No? chance. And the other point over here, you can see how much loyalty you can get from your spec bonus. Okay, so if you say like, okay, you invest 47 points, you can get 1,200 loyalty right at the beginning. You start with 1,200 loyalty, you tile up, you can level your coalition base camps really, really fast, and can take high level buildings really fast. And then you really have the chance to get these gates really fast, to get the small cities really fast. So key part should be at the beginning to go to, let's say, 4,800 durability as loyalty, sorry, as fast as possible. For those who don't have these many points, spec points, try to reach for 3,000 and then keep pushing from there. It's really key. Eden is about going fast on loyalty and then taking buildings fast. And with the other part is that you can only take buildings on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We might have to consider to take buildings simultaneously. So let's say like one group goes to city A, one group goes to city B, split players and take them at the same time. For example, for the low level cities. For the high level cities, won't be possible. You just need too many people with max energy at these one buildings to take it down. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but for gates, you have 30 minutes time. If you don't take it in 30 minutes, it will regenerate 10% of its durability on cities. You have 1 hour time, and on this, after 1 hour, it will regenerate another 10% of its durability too. So the big difference between gates and cities and capitals and temples is just, for gates, 30 minutes, for cities, it's 1 hour. Okay, so this one was really, key for Eden. This is something you really have to keep in mind on loyalty, boost it as fast as possible. You will get the maximum rewards for only 2,000 points. As said, it's almost 8,000 points on the map, right? So politics with other guilds on this map will be huge. You don't know who you will meet on the map. It could be basically anyone, from, let's say, states below us, like 20, 30 states below us, up to 20, 30 states above us, doesn't show. Like, for example, on state 50, it was like they went up to state 80 and down to state 30, you know, or 25 it was actually. So they have like a 50 states range who you can meet, who alliances will be on the same map with you, and we will just have to find out. But if we really keep pushing this one and you really keep pushing your loyalty, it can be really rewarding. And yeah, that's for the video. If you have any questions, just write me in game or leave a comment. And if you have a comment or a question for a specific part of this video, you can just go to the comments and type the timestamp of this video, like say 2 minutes 30 seconds. Just type 02.30 and then leave your comment there, and then can just click on this timestamp. It will just take me to the part where your question is, and I can try to answer it, and I hope I can answer it. And yeah, so far from me, and thank you for watching.